It's kind of luxurious, and then sometimes you just like lay awake at night spiraling, thinking like, I spent so much of my life on this. Is anyone gonna like it? Is it gonna be good? I don't know. What if it's terrible? My name is Chris Sumsky. I am a co-founder for Moonlight Kids, which is an indie game development company. Moonlight Kids started back in 2018. Justin had this idea for this game called The Wild at Heart. He had sort of the art and story going with a fourth guy, Alex, and they needed programmers and game designers to fill in the rest. And we were all kind of at a point to try making the leap from what we were doing, which was sort of work for hire game development, to making our own thing. In August of 2018, the three of us went into business together and made Moonlight Kids to make The Wild at Heart. The Wild at Heart is an action-adventure game about two kids who run away from home and end up in another world called the Deep Woods. And there they collect an ever-growing herd of quirky creatures called spritelings, and those spritelings can solve puzzles for them by knocking down walls and fighting enemies and stuff like that. Before we made Moonlight Kids, Justin Baldwin, one of my partners, and Alex Kincaid, who was the writer on The Wild at Heart, they had sort of the idea for the story, the characters. Justin had the art style sort of nailed down to figure it out. He had a bunch of like mock-ups ready to go, and they even had started working on like a little prototype for it. And then things started moving very quickly because a guy on Twitter who runs a game festival saw a screenshot of the game and was like, hey, do you guys want to come show your game at this game festival? It was a huge opportunity for us. We didn't have a game yet, but we said yes, of course, like you're not gonna say no. And then we turned around and scrambled for like a month of no sleep to get a build ready. Took it down to San Francisco and showed it off. It had pretty great reception overall. I mean, people playing it loved it, and then we got pretty good press attention at the time, which was great. So yeah, some press latched onto it, and then some publishers latched onto it. Fast forward 5 or 6 months, because everything takes forever, and we signed a publishing deal with Humble Games. It's kind of luxurious, and then sometimes you just like lay awake at night spiraling, thinking like, I spent so much of my life on this. Is anyone gonna like it? Is it gonna be good? I don't know. What if it's terrible? We've been working remote for a long time, so at some point along that timeline, I was just really needing to get out of my apartment and meet other people and have sort of that like water cooler interaction and make new friends. Normally, that's not like awkward at a coffee shop or something. So ever since then, I've basically been Googling every few months or so, just like Portland co-working space, and some pop up and some don't. And then one day Kiln popped up and it was like, we're coming soon. And so, yeah, I was in. I mean, I had just been really craving human interaction, like in person and not just remote work. At a Kiln happy hour, I met someone who was like, you work in games? I used to work in games. And we got to talking the whole happy hour, basically. And he found out we were pitching a new game, and I showed it to him, and he was like, I have a contact at such and such publisher. And I was like, we've been trying to get a hold of such and such publisher. So he sent a few emails and connected us up. And yeah, that's just like an example of like, sweet, being in a place with other humans is great.